Now, as seen on the screen, many of you will see that Mercedes-Benz just recalled 13,447 locally produced EVs in China due to battery thermal runaway risk. Beijing Mercedes is recalling these produced or locally produced EQC vehicles starting the 27th of September this year. Now, Mercedes, you will know that a couple of months, if not a year, there was a rumor that Mercedes could partner with you when it comes to battery swapping or for their battery swapping station technology. But that rumor never materialized, though we saw top executive Mercedes standing next to a battery swapping station. We never saw the two partnerships confirmed, which therefore we could not talk about that partnership anymore. And still to date, there's not been any partnership of Nio and Mercedes-Benz with regards to their battery swapping stations. Now, the reason why I'm also telling you about that story is that this is a sad story, unfortunately, because had Mercedes partnered with Nio, things like this were easily going to be dealt with by just the users, all who have got the batteries with, or who are driving this EQS with battery issues. They were just going to go to a battery swapping station of Nio, swap out their battery. It's business as usual. It was not going to be a lengthy process where the users go and take all their cars back to Mercedes, but it was just going to be a designated battery swapping stations that will be for those Mercedes that needs to go and replace their batteries, which this shows you of how much of a convenient battery swapping station is. This shows us again that, look, I think it's a blunder of Mercedes not doing partnership with EV makers like Nio with their battery swapping stations, because this is why battery swapping station it's an advantage, because they don't have, Nio does not have to worry about this. Even if their battery is found with faults, all they need to do is to give instructions or clear instruction to their users to go to a designated battery swapping station, and they go and swap out their battery and get a new battery without fault. This is why battery swapping stations are important, and they play a huge role in the fast growing EV space. We talk about the convenience that it gives to the Neo users or those that have subscribed to BUS, the Neo users and Envoy users. We also talk about the convenience that it gives to the Chinese government as a whole, because the battery swapping stations are like the power banks for power, right? They store power, and this, my dear friends, it's something that is good. But over and above this, if Neo users are down the line, their batteries are to be found with the similar faults like this one, guess what? Neo is just going to instruct their users, their customers, to go to battery swapping station with very little admin and go swap out the battery with issues and put a new one. Now, we are talking about the EQS. What was going to happen, or what would happen if these cars were giving these Mercedes users after a warranty? It means that the users for Mercedes were going to sit with a problem of a big bill that they need to sort out of the battery that is not fully functional on their EV car, which is something that was not going to be good at all. Which again, this is a shout out to the companies that have partnered with Nio, and to Mercedes. This is a wake up call once again to say that you need companies like Nio. You need to partner with EV makers like Nio, because you need their battery swapping stations. And this goes to all the other EV car makers. When the batteries have got an issue, even though this is under a warranty now, remember, they are going to, if these cars are going to be taken for some time, guess what? They have to provide maybe courtesy cars, or they need to provide some alternative cars, because there will be other users that are using these cars for traveling on a day-to-day. There are some kind of jobs that requires you to travel, and it means that they will have to now spend some money to cater for the customers like that. Whereas if it was, they had formed a partnership with Nio, and this EQS was one of the models that was using battery swapping station, guess what? They were just going to send them to designated Nio battery swapping stations, and they are going to change this battery completely. I mean, can you imagine 13,447. It's a lot, man. And I think this should be, like I said, a wake-up call to Mercedes to say that they need to reconsider. They need to think again if really they don't need Nio, because with Nio, such things were not going to happen. With Nio, they were just going to direct their customers to battery swapping station, and they just go swap out that battery in a space of 3 minutes or less than that, which is just so amazing what Nio has been doing. This shows you why battery swapping stations are important or play a huge role in the fast growing EV space, not just to those that have subscribed to bus, not that just to the customers or China's or the Chinese government, but in cases or instances like this, Nio will get to easily deal with these situations rather than customers, clients having to return a chunk of their cars to the dealerships or to the service center so that they get their battery fixed or even replaced, which is something that is not good. So yeah, man, tell me what you think about this, man. When I read this, I thought of coming to share this news with you because look, Mercedes, in as much as obviously it's not partnering or has not partnered with Nio when it comes to battery swapping, there was once rumors that surfaced. There was once an instance where we saw, of course, top executive of Mercedes going to have a look at Nio's battery swapping station from a close proximity, which showed you, or which is what sparked the rumors of saying that there could be a potential partnership between Nio and Mercedes. This is something that I think all of us, we need to obviously appreciate the company that Nio has become, because things like this will never happen with Nio. Battery swapping station continues to offer convenience to those that have subscribed to bus. Yesterday I told you a story of a Nio user who had initially bought his car with a battery, but now he regrets why he did it that way, because the first time he experienced a battery swapping, he honestly signaled a regret, saying that he should have done it earlier, because after a year of owning a Nio car with a battery, with the struggling of charging when it's too hot, when it's rainy, when the weather conditions are just bad, he regrets why he did not opt for bus, which shows you the convenience that comes with battery swapping. Can you imagine what these 13,477 people were going to not worry that much about the issues that are on their cars with battery swapping stations? It was just going to be so easy. In fact, they were not going to feel anything, which probably the reason why also Mercedes is saying that the recall could come in from September. Probably it's because they're still arranging maybe new battery packs, we don't know. But with Nio, this process, I'm telling you, it was going to be very straightforward and simple, which makes Nio to be a very, very good, strong competitor that gives convenience and gives some serious competition to car makers like your BBAs, Mercedes, BMW, and Audi, which is something that is great. Like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell. It takes me some time to make these videos, and all I ask from you is to give it a thumbs up so that at least you can be notified by YouTube every time I drop a new content. Blue sky is coming, long term will win. Those that are persevering throughout the years, the share price will most definitely be rewarded with time. I'll see you on the next one, my dear friends. That's all from me, and God bless you all.